Hey YouTube, this is the Schrade Viper Gen 3 OTF knife. And you see it as a glass breaker here. Alright, let me demonstrate how to operate this. Alright, let me do it. First I'll do it with my left hand. Alright, you got to make sure your fingers are not in the way of that button. Alright, the fingers there, and for the camera, there you go. Now in order to see, it is locked into place. That switch right there, you pull it that way until it drops down like that, and then you just you pull that back all the way. Alright, see that? This switch here is a safety. When you see that red dot, it means the safety is off. When you push it that way, this can no longer be activated because the safety is on. Alright, now let me show you another 3 ways to open it. The other way, alright, I showed you left hand, the overhand method. Alright, you can also, it's kind of tricky, but take your pointer finger and kind of anchor it on that clip, your thumb here. Alright, you can open it that way. That's kind of awkward, but you can do it. Alright, and with the right hand, alright, again, make sure your fingers are not in the way of the button. Alright, the overhand method. Let me try and show it better on camera. There you go. Alright, and you can also kind of anchor your finger on the clip there. Right, you see that? This is very awkward. You know, I wouldn't use this method, but you can do it. Right? And there you go. Alright, so you can basically open it, you know, overhand or underhand. I would always open it the overhand method. That just seems a lot easier. Now as far as just the handle here, you see the texture. There is an impact surface there, used as a rescue tool, window breaker, glass breaker. And you see the pocket clip right there. You know, it's not adjustable. It's a one position pocket clip. Right, now you're probably wondering about the legalities of this. Actually, I believe this does not count as an auto for now, but you should never go by that because laws can change, interpretations can be different. So never go by what you hear, always research it yourself. But as far as I know, I purchased this from Knife Center, and Knife Center does not sell autos unless you produce identification. And you know, since they didn't ask me for any, alright, that's why I think that it probably for now doesn't count as an auto. Also, I have the older generation of Schrade OTF, and this so far has not counted as an auto, and that's why you can purchase these on Amazon. Alright, Amazon generally does not sell autos. Alright, so that's why I think that. Now you see the improvements they've made from the I think this is Gen 1 or 2, and this is the Gen 3. They've given it more reach. They've just made it a bigger, more substantial knife. They've gotten rid of the cutout there. Alright, this is completely closed construction. And they've basically made this closely resemble some of the much more expensive automatic OTF knives. Okay, like Microtech, for example. I'm talking knives that go for $200 or $400. I think that was an excellent move because, you know, if you're not able to own an automatic and you don't want to pay those prices, this is definitely, you know, a suitable budget stand-in. Right, so that was a very good redesign move by them. I think this will be very popular. The price tag on this, it was $39. All right, so just under 40. You see it has a gray bead blast finish, and it is a dagger spear point. They also come in a black blade. One very interesting thing, this is actually sharpened on both sides. It is a double-edged blade. All right, let me show you how it cuts. It cuts surprisingly well for a blade profile like that, which is not really known for slicing ability. It's not super razor, it's not super clean, but it does. Now the back swedge is not as sharp. All right, let's see what the back swedge does. All right, you know, I can't help that I'm pretty experienced at cutting paper, but trust me, the back swedge is a little bit less sharp than the front, even though you might not be able to tell from that, but it is. And if you're wondering, the wound profile, it's a typical diamond, thin diamond shape. Informational purposes only, sold as a collectible. Alright, and here is a size comparison for you. The blade length on the Viper, 3.5 inches, and I tried to find knives that were roughly similar in terms of size and in terms of the blade profile. On the right of the Viper, that is a Gerber Covert Applegate Fairbairn assisted folder, and as you can see, pretty much the same blade length. The Covert is only single-edged, it's not double-edged like the Viper, but roughly comparable, you know, in terms of mission and design and size. All right, to the left of the Viper is my Benchmade Nitrous Striker Tanto. It's slightly shorter and slightly wider as far as the blade compared to the Viper. All right, so that's just a little size comparison. All right, so in summary, the Gen 3 Viper, it is actually, it's vastly improved from the Gen 1 and 2. It's basically an OTF style knife that is legal for now, as far as I know, but again, do not take that as anything more than opinion. Now, as far as the functioning of the knife, it functioned flawlessly. It has not misfired on me. It appears to be a good mechanism. Now, this knife would actually be very useful just for the glass breaker. In other words, just as a window breaker, a rescue type tool. I could see people carrying this just almost like just as a Kubotan / rescue tool for the glass breaker alone, and never even never even using the blade part, except once in a while. Obviously, it is a dagger type design, but you could still you could still open a box or cut some paracord with it, obviously. So it does have some secondary utility function. And as far as its weapon potential, well, you know, it's a 3.5 inch double-edged dagger that deploys out very quickly in the reverse grip with a little practice. So you can figure out if you need one of those or not. You know, it's as fearsome as any small boot dagger would be once deployed. And lastly, it was surprisingly sharp for one of these type knives. Hope you enjoyed getting a closer look at this. I think this knife is going to be very, very popular, just because, you know, it's like a butterfly knife. It's the type of thing that you really, if you have it lying around, you kind of can't resist just fiddling with it and playing around with it every time you pass by it. So, you know, it's going to be popular because people like that kind of stuff, and you know, nothing wrong with that. It's fun. It's a fun blade. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for many more. I'm out of here.